Okay, what we're going to do is create a worksheet from our in Excel based on the reinforcement activity that we did. So if you'll go into my outbox and then go to the accounting folder, there's a file called Worksheet Template, and you can go ahead and open up that, and that'll bring you up to a sample Excel worksheet here that we're going to use and modify. So first I want you to go to File, Save As. I want to have you save it in your home directory in your accounting folder and save it as Worksheet Template. Okay? I'm going to say no to that because I already have it saved. Okay, then if you open up, first we're going to do on the first line of any worksheet is the name of a company. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to highlight these cells like, well, let me go C through I here. If you left click and drag it, you can highlight C through I and do this merge and center. And then the first line of any financial document is the name of the company. So we're going to do a template first, so I'm just going to put name of company here so you remember the next time you open it to what to do here. I'm going to highlight these cells here, and this in your toolbar's merge and center again. This is the name of the financial document. In this case, it's a worksheet. And then the third line, I'm going to highlight, do my merge and center again. It'll combine these cells. And then for fiscal period ended, and then it's the month, the day, and the year. So of course you'll replace that with whatever, for month ended, for year ended, or whatever in the current month. Okay, over in the account titles, then you list all of your accounts, and you get these and their balances, and you get this from your general ledger. After you posted everything, you've journalized, for the month or the year, and you've posted to those accounts, and from your general ledger, then these are the account titles with their balances. So we're going to list cash, in this case, and I'm getting this from the general ledger, from the in this case the fitness center reinforcement activity. Accounts receivable, Lincoln School, and supplies, and prepaid insurance, and accounts payable. In this case, it's Donald Supplies, and accounts payable, Boyle's Office Supplies. Christensen. Okay, and I'm going to finish typing, and then you can pause this so that you can finish doing it also, and then I'll enter the balance. Okay, now I've entered all the account titles from the general ledger of the reinforcement activity that we did. Okay, so next what you do is you enter the balances from the ledger. And so you'll enter the balances based on the general ledger, and then enter those all the way down. And if they have a debit balance, then you're going to enter them on the debit side. If they have credit, then you'll enter them on the credit. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pick up again. Go ahead and finish entering the balances, and then we'll continue. Okay, so now I've entered all my balances based on the general ledger balances. I even entered, some I don't have balances for. That's okay. Next, what we're going to do is calculate a formula so that it'll add these for us. Before we do that, I'm going to highlight all the columns, like by left clicking and dragging all the way down. Any cell that probably might have a formula or an amount in it, because I'm going to go to Format and go to Cells. I'm going to choose Accounting and 2 decimal places. So again, I went to Format, Cells, Accounting, 2 decimal places, no dollar symbol. Okay, and then click OK, and that will change these to be double zeros here. Now I'm going to do a formula here so that it'll add these columns for me so that I don't have to manually add them. So I'm going to do an equal sign. Actually, what I'm going to do is show you the other way of entering formulas first. Up on your toolbar, there's this little function. If you click that, notice it'll put an equal sign in there for you, and then that means that we're going to do a formula, and then we're going to do a sum. So we'll click OK. And it'll bring up with a box here. I'm going to left click and drag that over. And I'm going to highlight this column because that's everything I want it to add together, and click OK. And then it'll put the amount down here at the bottom for us, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to do that again here, and I'm going to click Function, and then I'm going to Sum, and click OK. I'm going to drag all these. I'm going to highlight any amounts that I might be adding, and then click OK. And then notice that I didn't come out with the same amount. So, and I should, because of the formula. So I'm going to look up here, kind of double check my work. Maybe you already caught my error here. 1460, 960, 500, 100, 183, 1200. I'm missing a repair expense. So I'm going to insert a row. So I'm going to insert repair expense, and then my repair expense was 157. Okay, so now notice that my formula automatically added B8 through B26, so it automatically updated for me. So this is C8 through C26 here, so that's good. The template, let's go ahead and delete this. Never mind. We're all set there. So that's equaling. That's what you want it to be, equal your trial balance, to make sure before you go on. We do a worksheet at the end of a fiscal period, mainly to calculate if we made money or lost money. Do we make, based on the income statement or not? Okay, now what we're going to do is calculate adjustments. So I'll tell you in just a second what page number you need to turn to in your hard. Okay, now if you look in your hardcover book, page 222, we're going to calculate adjustments. In your book, it says on May 31st that we have $520 in supplies on hand. That's how much we physically have left. If you notice in our account, it says we have $1,460. Okay, so we're going to do a formula, and we're actually going to have to adjust it. We're going to have to credit supplies, right? Because we have less in supplies than what our balance shows. Okay, so we're going to take, in this case, we're just going to go ahead and calculate out what our adjustment is. So if you run your calculator, again, and our balance says 1460. By looking here, in our book we have it says when we physically counted supplies we had 520, so we subtract the difference. So we actually used 940. So we're going to put a credit over in the adjustment column for supplies. The debit side is going to go to supplies expense. Okay, so our debits and credits are equal. We can't put little a, little b like we normally do, so don't worry about that. In insurance, in our book on page 222, it says we have $800. Our account says we have $960. So the difference is $160 of supplies that we used. So we're going to credit prepaid insurance to take it out of that account and debit insurance expense for $160. So if you'll go on to part 2, then we'll continue from